So obviously one thing that I really wanted to go ahead and talk about today, well, it's actually a few things. Part of that is obviously the culture shift that we're having within the business, in a sense, as to the services and products that we're obviously trying to deliver to our clients. There's a few things that have been going on this week, especially for myself personally, and it kind of ties into the audio that I just heard today, which basically goes with what I was actually talking about to Vlad. And the other day I was literally sitting down with him. I know last week he had a phenomenal week. The week before last too as well. The last 2 weeks has been pretty good. And I'm literally thinking, sometimes I even think to myself as to what exactly am I going to talk to my sales team about. The sales staff that we have right now is a dynamic team that you guys are obviously fully trained. You guys know how to execute. You know what you're looking for. You know how to address the client, overcoming objections. You know exactly the type of accounts that are actually valid when it actually comes to getting somebody enrolled. We've been doing a better job at actually making sure that we're not just putting anybody through the system or through the program unless they're obviously going to go ahead and see results. But nevertheless, regarding that, there's something that I think to myself, that there's powers that we can't control. Things are going to happen, right? We literally come to work. We think to ourselves, like, you know, even you're talking to a client from 2 days ago, you did the evaluation, you spoke to them, and then today the client said to go ahead and charge them, and the card didn't go through. Or maybe you went ahead and you spoke to 2 people last week that said, hey, call me back on Friday, and we're going to go ahead and get started with it. I have the paperwork, and that's all you're missing. And then you come back, you obviously come on Friday, you contact the client's nowhere to be found. And you're thinking to yourself, like, damn, what's going on? Because then it goes back to the same thing that I always think about myself. There's powers that I can't control, but it's the attitude that I have within myself as to what I bring within myself, the things that I attract to myself. And I think it's something that it's undermined. You know, it might sound like some sort of magic shit, or it might sound like something like out of a fiction novel, but in reality, when you're in tune with yourself as to what you want, the universe, God, whatever it is, the intent, the emotion, everything is in there, the passion, and things are going to start aligning themselves. I'm going to be 100% transparent. On the month of January, it's unfortunate, as up close and tight that I am with me being up to date with my payments and stuff like that. It wasn't a resource situation. It was more. There was so much shit going on. Obviously, coming back from December, which was a really hard month for us. January, all the changes and all the things that we were doing. I got a late payment on one of my cars, man. Actually, on my personal car, my freaking GX. And obviously that's detrimental to me because I'm going through a process of purchasing a home. We're expanding. We got new locations. I'm going to need additional merchant processing. I might need another line of credit. I might need things additionally. And they're going to be looking at my fucking credit now. And my scores dropped to freaking 100 points, man. Where I usually fly at the 790s, 805, 8 something. Now it dropped me. So now I'm kind of like facing. I'm like, damn, dude. While all this movement, all this emotion's going on, and I just find out about this shit in the beginning of March. So obviously now I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to do? And then it goes back to what I'm saying, the powers that be. It's so freaking crazy. All of a sudden, people reached out to me with regards to a line of credit and some sort of line increase, and there's no paperwork needed. And because of the payment history that I've had, I'm like, are you sure, bro? Like, did you look at my credit? Like, I'm thinking to myself, right? And it was something that I couldn't really control. And things have developed themselves to get to that level in a sense that, guess what? I'm out of control. I don't have that. I can't really control the things that I can't see. Part of the audio that I was listening to is like the wind, right? The wind is so powerful and we can't even see it. And sometimes we think to ourselves like, I have to be uptight. I'm the one that has control over these accounts. And in reality, sometimes things are going to happen. But it's on us to realize that. In a sense, we need to regroup when shit's not going our way. I'm thinking to myself right now, coming in with the amount of money that we invest in Google Ads and all these other things, how many payments we've put into that thing, and to come in and not have the leads, it's frustrating, right? So to the point that, what do? And it goes back to the same thing. It's our attitude that we have, what we possess, is how we interpret information. It's how we say to ourselves, either it's going to get me upset or I'm going to come up with some sort of solution. So in reality, especially for my sales team, even for you guys processing, sometimes things can get a little hot and heavy. Situations might not be in our best interest, or we might not have any type of control over situations. But you know what? That's okay. Because when we take a 5-minute break, we meditate, we relax. I don't know. I was talking to somebody, and literally, I'm gonna throw him out there, Sean. And I was talking to Sean when I was going over the numbers with regards to the compensation, because again, the business has to shift based on whatever the business is getting. Guess what? If we're having a phenomenal month, then we're going to be up for promotions. We're going to be giving up raises. I'm going to be buying lunch or something like that. But guess what? If things are not shifting that way, we need to adjust in order for us to continue running at the level that we know we have to. And while I was having this conversation with Sean, and he's not a negative person, except that when it really touches your heart about something, you sometimes block yourself. You get yourself into this negative state, an idea that, guess what? Oh, it's like the end of the damn world. And then guess what happens? Whatever energy level that you were getting within yourself, whatever alignment, you just got off that. You just derailed yourself. So whatever you had really coming for you, when you were about to hit that breakthrough, all of a sudden you know what? You sold yourself short. Because you stopped thinking about how to come up with a solution. So you thought about whatever it is that you felt, whatever issue you were actually in. Through the process of a conversation, obviously through the cooling aspect of it and continuing the dialogue, we thought to ourselves, while he's talking, I came up with a better idea. I said, you know what? Instead of doing this, since we're going to go ahead and take away from that, let's come up with something to offset that. And that came about after you calm down, you relax. So when you talk to a client, how proactive, all the information that we're telling them with regards to Mr. Client, have you activated your credit card? Mr. Client, if you don't have any credit cards, have you gone ahead into our website? Because our website has all the types of credit cards. Clients should be applying for a credit card every single month. This is not a one-time thing. When we're talking to the client, do you have anybody else that you might be able to go ahead and add yourself as an authorized user? I was literally talking to a client the other day, and the client, Brian Robertson. Brian Robertson. Oh, sorry, Brian. He's going to be on video. And I was talking to this client, right? And he said something to me that kind of, it acknowledged what I've always said to you guys. As long as we keep the lines of communication open, as long as we talk to them, we listen to the client, we address their concerns with realistic expectations, guys. This guy's coming from 3-4 different credit repair companies. We know as a salesperson that if I'm enrolling somebody and I see a comment that says consumer disagrees, account under investigation, that's a red flag to me to actually ask the question, are you working with another company? What is it that happened through the other companies? Because if we don't ask those questions, guess what? The success probability on somebody who's coming from 3 different companies is not the same as to when we're starting from the first time. We have no idea what happened before. So the client really, after speaking to him, giving him the information on the CFPB, just to let all our clients know, there's a tactic behind the CFPB, guys. And what that is that if you know without a shadow of a doubt that something is a discrepancy or something is a mistake, you have the burden of proof, you have the information, then do the CFPB report. But the reason why we do it is a scare tactic to the agencies that, guess what, we've included an additional avenue of a resource that we're attaching that to your dispute letter, CCing on it. So guess what? Based on the information that I've gathered from other books and other people who have coached me, there's a success probability on that. And that gun, we literally go ahead and take it out for those clients, and we know processing aspect of it. We shift gears when we're not seeing results. It's not for everybody. So in that particular case, after talking to the guy he thought we were lying, and he thought this and that. He obviously came down, we spoke, we said, I said I was going to go ahead and personally look into to his credit report. He actually gave me a lot of thanks because he spoke to Cindy for like about an hour and a half. I spoke to him for another 30 minutes, and the guy was literally really static at the end. He understood the concept. People have to know that if they're enrolling in our service, man, we know something they don't. 2 reasons why somebody's going to come into our program. First off, because of our experience, our knowledge. We've done thousands of credit disputes, guys. We know stuff that they don't. The average consumer has no information. We're literally reinvesting some additional assets right now on some advanced credit repair tactics on a book over $500, $600. Oh, 6 books that we're actually getting. Again, that's going to be time that we're going to have to invest to sit down. Is a trial and error, pilot programs. Why? Because we care for our clients. We want them to see success, but if they don't trust us, then they shouldn't be in our program. Straight up. That shit doesn't make any sense. For somebody to be testing us, to be asking us, are we doing the right thing? Dude, how many people don't we get in the program? If we don't got to charge them, we don't charge them. If we're not seeing success, fuck it. I've had people since September from last year that I haven't even a monthly service fee. Right? But have that conviction within yourself. This is why I was telling Sean, and we kind of like undermine ourselves, and we start thinking about, oh, I can't charge somebody $200 enrollment. It's going to be higher now. People are not going to sign up. The type of value that we're bringing to our client is that much greater. Who the fuck out there, like Lexington Law, creditrepair.com, that I've been a client of, are taking those additional avenues, FTC type stuff, you know what I'm saying? State Attorney General's office type stuff that I've done. Literally gone to the dealership with my client, telling them we're going to bring in fucking CNBC in order for them to change something, because we were without a shadow of a doubt, we knew we were right. Who does that? Nobody's doing that shit out there. We are. So we got to give ourselves that value. So the price is the price. Guess what? Because if it's necessary for us to do those additional things, we will. And this goes back into my second thing, which is basically I want to go ahead and give the floor over to Brent. We're having a culture shift, guys. Obviously, we have a few things that we're going to go ahead and start implementing as part of showing value to our clients. There's other benefits that the client could go ahead and take advantage of, such as if obviously the client wants to go ahead and purchase a home, we need to be conscious that life is life. Yeah, we're the whole crowd here. We might be so young and to an extent a little bit naive, thinking that I'm not going to die. I'm not going to get anything. And people think this way. But when shit hits the fan, or when I hear about a friend, somebody who just passed away, or somebody, my landlord just came to me, I just sat with him, that his cousin just got gunned down, 4 shots to the chest. That shit just happened last month, man. Like, it's real stuff. Like, it goes back to the same thing with credit repair. We're having a real solution for a real problem. Shit happens. So we need to go ahead and offer our clients a financial needs analysis. We need to sit down with them and go over their finances. Look to see how else they could benefit from additional services. Especially if the client is seeing results on the credit repair aspect, they're not going to object. They're not going to say no. So me and actually Alberto are going to go through a little script. I'm going to get in contact with my team in Belize as to when we're following up with them, what we're bringing up to them, how we're bringing it up. But I need everybody in here to be on the same page. As a matter of fact, since it is going to be a Buildworth Strategies requirement for anybody who is an employee of Buildworth Strategies to have some sort of knowledge on this. So if a client goes ahead and asks us for the question, asks us for what that is, we need to be prepared to be able to answer that. And who's the proper channels and how we're going to guide that as well. So obviously, as you guys know, we have the team out here. We have Brant, Chuck, and we have Carlos, who have been patiently and greatly appreciated that you guys have obviously been on top of this, helping us out. And those are the people who we're going to guide these things to through the whole process. Not only the client's going to go ahead and take advantage of the service, but we're also going to benefit as well. Given the fact that there's other things and information, education, financial education that's not being circulated anywhere out there. Not even in school they teach you stuff of the things that we're literally going to sit down with our clients and show them the value of different ways on how to save money, how to properly protect themselves, how to invest the right way. So new things are actually going to go ahead and get implemented with regards to that. So that's pretty much that. We'll still go over processing numbers, and we already went over that. So I guess...
You're going to play the video?
Yeah, I'm going to play the audio, guys, and then I'm going to give Brant a few minutes to go over a little thing, and that's it.
My name is Raul Villacis, and this is your Daily Edge. One of my favorite things to do is to meditate in front of the ocean. Something about the water, something about the horizon, something about this amazing force of nature, this powerful force of nature that gets me connected to God and to the universe and to life. As you realize one thing, in our lives there's going to be things that we cannot control. There's forces in our lives that are controlling most of our reality, just like the ocean. Like the wind. The wind is an invisible force of nature. Even though you cannot see the wind, you can't deny the power the wind has and how it dictates where the water goes. and also gravity. Gravity is an invisible force that's grounding this water, that's pulling us together to this planet. Even though we cannot see this force, we can't neglect the power. It's the same thing in our lives. There's invisible forces of nature that are happening in our lives every single day. And our job is to have God and the universe use us as a vessel of light, use us as a conduit of those powers so we could create our reality. And the reason that we argue reality is because we want to be in control. We think we know better than God. We think that we know better than the universe. We think that we have this shit under control. The reality is you and I, we don't know. We don't know better than God. We don't know more than what life has expected of us. Our job is to get out of the fucking way, just like the water. The water is getting out of the way, and the water is allowing those forces of nature to use the water to fulfill its purpose. So my intention for you, brother, is to allow yourself to let go. Get out of the fucking way. Allow those forces of nature to guide you in your path. Allow God and the universe to guide you into your purpose. Stop fighting life. Life is not against you. Life is not punishing you. Life is shaping you, molding you to make you stronger so you can fucking lead. Because as a man, that's exactly what we came here to do. We came here to fucking lead. And those invisible forces of nature are here to help us get to that ultimate purpose. But if we continue to fight life, we continue to fight those forces, we're gonna continue to struggle, to be stressed out at the end, to feel like we're not enough. So brother, my intention for you is to let go. Allow God, the universe, to guide you in your path, to allow yourself to become like water and have life work through you so you can fulfill your purpose. Have an amazing day. Learn it, live it, experience it. Love life.
You know, it's so crazy how that just audio, it's bananas how I usually get on my YouTube and I prep for meetings and I prep for shit, and then all of a sudden I just I open up my YouTube and I just put motive, and it's like, it just, a video comes up and it's like, it's intuitive with what I want to pretty much either something that I'm already feeling, something that I'm going through, and it kind of aligns itself to a crazy situation. You know, it's so, it could be nerve-wracking where we're at, thinking that we've gone so far to kind of stop, but we have so much momentum. We have to be relentless. We're not going to stop, and we're going to continue to go forward. I'm going fucking balls to the walls on this shit. I've been putting mad hours. I was here to 12 p.m. on Monday. A.M. Keep saying p.m. I've been literally staying here till about 8, 9 p.m. We were here to 9 yesterday. So you know what? It is what it is. Working Saturdays, working Sundays, whatever is necessary. Whoever out there that says, guess what? Shit's hard is hard because you're fucking lazy. The opportunities are everywhere. I promise you guys. And I love what Brent actually said, and I never knew actually what that word meant. And I still don't even know what the word is, but I'm gonna give the analogy of it. It's kind of like when you buy a new car, when you want to buy a car, and you've never seen that car in the street, and then all of a sudden you get infatuated with that damn car, and everywhere you turn, you see it. What's that word called?
Reticular activation system.
Yes.
Who? Reticular activation system.
Reticular activation system. Hey, same thing happens for me. Guess what? I don't see different. I don't have the special power. But right now I feel a certain way, and I see opportunity everywhere. And I invite you guys to obviously get on board with it, man. And let's have a great Friday. I'm gonna give it to Brent now.
It's a shift is going to be possible, you know. So if you have a level 2 problem, but you're ever a level 3 person, that's a big problem. But if you have a level 2 problem and you raise yourself to maybe a level 8 person, that problem becomes small, right? Remember you told me the story the first day that you had $1,000 get deposited.
How we made $1,000,
right? Or there was 1,000 in your PayPal, and you stood up and for if you did that in one day, you'd go
right now.
Yeah, you'd be worse, right? It'd be a different meeting, man. Yeah. So really, what's happening is we all have fears, you know, and we got to start knocking these fears in the face. There's a couple things that I've been doing a lot of work, therapy work on myself over the years, and I'll share a story with you. One is I'm reading a book called "Claim Your Power" by Mastin Kipp, and in that book, it teaches you how to go back into your life to find out what's holding you back. Because something's holding us all back. And some things we don't realize. It could be friends, it could be family. A lot of the time what's holding us back is our thoughts. So I was realizing, like, one of the questions is go back into your life and see when was the first time you kind of felt bad about something. Or so I remember I wanted to be a skateboarder really bad. I was practicing, and I was young, and I saw these guys like killing it, like riding these big ramps and doing, you know, all these tricks, and I wanted to be that, and I wanted to compete. And one thing led to another. I had built a ramp in my backyard, and all of a sudden I had to get taken down because the homeowners insurance company, whatever. And I remember being like, damn, man, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. So I told myself, little did I know, I told myself that I'm not good enough. And then I wanted to play basketball. I got cut from the basketball team my freshman year, but that I'm not good enough was there, and I practiced my ass off, and I ended up making the basketball team, and I had a chance to play at college. I decided not to, but I realized then I went into DJing, and I was telling myself I'm not good enough because I told myself I wasn't good enough. I was working hard. Now, mind you, I didn't realize I was telling myself I'm not good enough until last month. That this has been going on in my head ever since I was a little kid. And then now that I realize that I've been telling myself that a million times, like, it actually, by looking at it and holy crap, actually relieved me of a sense of minimization that I didn't even realize was there. And then another thing that happened to me, and we're all fearful of something, and I'm going to be very personal with you guys and transparent. By doing this work, we're trained to ask our clients questions, aren't we? Right? Aren't we? We train the crap. Ask them this, ask them that, ask them this, ask them that. But we're never trained to ask ourselves questions. Like, we almost don't want to even look in the mirror sometimes, right? So one of the questions I asked myself, it was 2 Saturdays ago. I shared this with a couple of you guys. This is the first time I'm sharing it publicly. We all have a story similar to this, and I was like, man, I'm feeling better about my life. I'm feeling good. I'm heading in the right direction. I just realized that I've been telling myself I'm not good enough, but I still feel scared about something. Like I have a blanket of fear over me. And I go, when was the first time that I was scared? I was in my front driveway, and I go, when was the first time I was scared? And boom, a vision popped into my brain. And it was a vision of when I was like 4 or 5 years old. I was in my house, and I was behind a chair, sitting down. I must have been like a very young boy. And there was a older girl there, maybe 7 or 8 years old, and she literally showed me her stuff. Now this happens to more people or not, but this is true. And I'm being authentic and I'm being real. And she touched me, and I was scared shitless, man. I was scared, but I didn't know. I didn't feel molested or anything like that. But how crazy is that? How crazy is that? That one little incident when I was a kid, and the second that I realized that moment happened, I was like, holy crap. I was like, fear was lifted off of me. And we ended up having our best month in a career. We went nuts. Like, I let loose because I didn't have this baggage over my head anymore. Now listen to me. I hope this relates to you, because when was the first time you got scared? When was the first time that you had an incident that scared the crap out of you, that you're still holding on to, that maybe you didn't even realize is there? We all have one. It could have been abuse. It could have been nobody. Your mom didn't pick you up at school. You could have gotten bullied. I mean, what's the case? Now, then you got to do is find the blessing. Like, I'm not good enough led to me to working my ass off, right? To overcoming a bunch of stuff that nobody in my family graduated college. Nobody opened a business, right? No 5'7", 135-year-old, 105-pounder was able to go to college playing basketball, right? So there was blessings there, but I still had this weight on my head. So what we're dealing with right now, all of you guys are capable of greatness. You guys are here to win, right? You guys are showing up here we're all showing up here to win. Are we showing up here to lose, or are we showing up here to win? We're showing up to win in your personal lives, in your family lives, in your health, right? You guys are on some keto stuff now, right? So, we want to win in all these areas of life, but we have this baggage that's holding us back. You've got an environment here with Justo who's raising the game and creating a space for other leaders to fill into. And if we look at it, there's 2 things that are going to drive us. A is our personal winnings. Like, we want to have the good life. We want to live a good life. We want to be healthy. We want to do all these things. But there's a huge problem going out there in the world financially, right? Huge problem. I mean, people are committing suicide because of debt. Families are getting broken up over their finances. Student loans are at an all-time high. Credit cards at an all-time high. Investment advisors only want to talk to rich people. Credit, I mean, look at the banks. What are the banks doing to the people? They're giving people low savings rates at 1%, but here's a credit card at what? 23%, 29%. So the middle class market is getting screwed financially, and the financial industry doesn't want to help. They just want to take advantage on their credit, on debt, on student loans, on finances, on savings, right? So it's a messed up world and nobody's educating. The financial firms only want to deal with millionaires. The banks only want to get people in debt. So here we are, a little firm here in Carroll City, and another company that we work with that want to educate the middle class, and we're trying to be superheroes in a world of villains. Really, we are the superheroes in this room, changing one family at a time. But the challenge is, we just need more people to step up. So the merger that's happening right now is BWS and us. We're combining forces because you guys are the credit specialists, and we're the specialists that can help people get out of debt, save for retirement. Like Justo said, people are dying every single day without any life insurance. It's nuts. People are getting their wages garnished in the retirement, Social Security, taxes, because they haven't paid off their student loans and all that debt. Yet we're here, we have the solutions to the problem, but we need more people integrating. So what we're doing right now is we're adding some additional services where we're going to be able to, once see, if you can fix somebody's credit, that's great. But if you don't change their psychology and give them a place for that money to go, what are they going to be back here in 6 months? Right? They're going to be back here. Now that would be great return business for you, but are you really doing the right job for them? No. If you fix their credit and now they have the free up cash, and if you don't give them direction on where to put that money, then they're gonna just be, it's gonna be a cyclical situation, and they're gonna die with that. So what we're doing is we're taking these people, and you guys are doing a great job with it, but then we got to hand them off to what's next for them. Get them on a savings plan, making sure they have life insurance, making sure they have a debt elimination plan, saving for college. And once again, what experts all say is, if you want to be wealthy, find the problem that you're passionate about and solve it. And I think we have a big problem that we could be passionate about, which is finances. So what we're doing right now is there's no licenses to offer with credit, but there's licenses that you need to have in order to offer the other services. So the only reason why most people wouldn't be jumping all over the licenses and getting them done is because A, you don't see the value in it. Because if you already saw the value that you can make an extra $1,000 a month getting these licenses, then you'd be calling us. We wouldn't be telling you about it. And number two is you're scared. You're fearful. There's something holding you back in this area or others' life, that maybe you can't pass a test, or you don't have the time, or by studying that you're going to miss out on like that. I challenge everybody, including myself, to look whatever fears you're dealing with and just slap them in the face and override them, because you're the captain of your brain. You can either be the pilot of your brain, or your brain's going to be on autopilot. One of the two is going to happen, and sometimes we don't realize our brain's on autopilot. But we got to literally like step up, find that inner other self that's inside of us, look back in your life, see what's been holding you back, get rid of it, find the blessing in the problems you had, and I tell you, you start looking for what you want, like Justo said, it's going to start falling on your lap. So with that being said, we're going to be here. We got Chuck, we got Carlos, we got Beto, we got a few guys over here getting licensed, and we know that once we start, on Monday, Justo, just learning with me coaching you, and in a few hours, you made like $100 extra in a few hours.
Like 3 hours.
Yeah, like 3 hours. So here's with 8 million people in South Florida, we can't help them all. And with what he has planning, there's going to be so many people needing the service that we can't help them all. We're going to need you guys to get licensed and equipped, and we're here to coach you. You don't have to do all the work. We're here to coach you. So A, you can help out these families, and B, you can start bringing some extra income to your pockets, and really start overcoming all the BS that we've been dealing with, since we were kids. So thank you so much, Brian.